Yes, the first official day of spring, and spring has sprung, and it's great. Just want to share a little bit of soil comparison here. This is soil that has not been worked in high nutrition or treated in any special way. Basically, it's just grown up to grass and been mowed. If we go over here, where I've been working the soil, I think you can see the difference in structure. Let's take another look here. Pretty hard. Pretty soft. Much more crumb structure in it. The green you see popping up here is rye. It was planted as a cover crop last year. It's growing back now. We'll just take a walk around a few different parts of this soil, let you get a look. This is where tomatoes were for a number of years. This is kept in mulch. We'll just have a look under the mulch. You can see that's some nice soft soil. I'm able to actually dig that with my fingers down a good 3-4 inches. Over here, the top 12 foot of this strip was garlic 1 year. Worked very heavily in nutrition. Also pretty soft. Pretty nice. Good crumb structure. Various stages of this were worked increasingly over the years, so this is better soil up here than is down here. But again, this is cover cropped. This had Austrian winter pea and winter rye in. There are some weeds coming up now, but the winter rye should come back and take that over. The deer have been munching on this all winter. A lot of green coming up though. Soil's pretty soft also. Obviously it's got some sod, so it's a little harder to pull up, but it's doing real well. We'll go down to this plot where I haven't worked it as long. A little less of the sod, a little lighter in color. This is the area that I tried no-till roll down and cover crop with rye and Austrian winter pea. This is also chewed down pretty heavily over the winter, but you can see where I rolled down the weeds here when I planted this. That's still forming a reasonably nice mulch cover on here, keeping the soil protected a little bit. It is letting some light in to warm the soil, so that's nice. That'll get the biology going. And actually, this soil is pretty nice too. A little lighter again, though, as you can see. So that's that block. Let's take a look at the other block over here. Look at the color and the structure and the darkness of green on this soil. I'll let you compare between the grass, the sod here, and the soil I've been working. This upper 20 foot or so was just added a few years ago. The lower 80 foot of this is a totally 100 foot total length. The lower 80 foot of this was grown for several years more than this upper section was. So let's just look at this upper section. Yeah, it's getting some nice structure too. Also, you can see that it's not quite as dark as some of that longer work stuff up top. This also was covered in Austrian winter pea and rye. Now we're down into the longer work stuff. Yeah, much softer, much darker. And I believe this is camas bulb coming up here. This blooms a beautiful purple flower, although they might be grape hyacinth. Those might be the same. I'm not sure. But I know that these bulbs put up beautiful flowers. These have been in here for forever, and even though I've tilled this and grown this block with so many other things, these have survived all through. And I really like that, how they're not in the way of the growing season, but they survive and they provide spring growth early every year. There's one there, there's one there, there's one there. And of course you can see deer turds all through here. The deer were in here munching heavily over the winter. It always feels like they're taking something from you, but they're putting back all that nutrition. And deer are ruminant animals, so they have a very similar digestive tract biologically to the soil. So when you stack that together, I think the deer provides a plus positive rather than a net negative. Anyway, this soil is doing really well. It's really improved a lot, and I feel very proud to have improved the soil here and to have learned so much about improving soil through a lot of sources and research and reasons, but a huge part of that has been John Kempf of Advancing Eco-Agriculture, and actually the whole team at Advancing Eco-Agriculture. Those guys really know their stuff. They're doing groundbreaking research, using groundbreaking tools, both for plant health analysis, using plant sap analysis, and also groundbreaking tools using foliar feeds and other soil amendments, and really understanding plant nutrition from a biological perspective. So many thanks to Advancing Eco-Agriculture for all they're doing. None of this would have happened without their education. Also, thank you to the Bionutrient Food Association, aka the BFA. Those guys also put on an excellent educational program about nutrition and crop health and soil health. That's run by Dan Kittredge, and he's a really good dude too. Many thanks to him also. And there's a number of other things like NOFA Mass and other educational channels that I also appreciate. But those are the ones that I've really learned some groundbreaking stuff from, and those are the ones that have really helped shift my entire paradigm about how I treat soils and how I manage soils and how I grow crops. And they've improved my skills tremendously, so I'm very grateful. I know I sound kind of like a walking ad for AEA, but they're doing some amazing stuff. I wouldn't be talking about them so much if I didn't respect them so much. This is soil that is, I had grown in this a couple years back, but I hadn't in the last few. It basically kind of overgrown to grass. In the fall I seeded this down with winter rye. I don't think I put any Austrian winter pea in this block, but it's starting to come back and soften up and green up, and the cover crop will grow in. And this area was done heavily with pine wood chips, which ended up being a detriment. Although definitely some better recovery where I came through with the chicken tractor, and they had a chance to add some nitrogen biology to it and do some scratching and picking. But this is coming back from that shock as well, and I think it'll actually prove to be a long-term benefit with all the humic matter that will come from those chips. It's just taking a long time for the soil to kind of recover. But you know, it was a good experiment. I would say use hardwood chips, make sure you got plenty of natural nitrogen available. Just a quick comparison of the soil that's covered, well, the soil that isn't covered, got that backwards, and the soil that is covered with a little bit of mulch. Again, uncovered, you'll notice that rye isn't nearly as tall. And yet when you come in here, it's taken off pretty good already. The green under that mulch is further ahead. It's like it's being protected from the cold nights probably, collecting and holding some heat, collecting and holding a little bit of moisture. And who knows, maybe just the fact that this wasn't tilled, maybe that's a factor too. Maybe some of that biology is intact a little better closer to the surface. So just wanted to make comparisons between the two. There's lots more to that. You want to peel that onion layer back. I've been babbling. I just wanted to share a bunch of stuff about the different soils here on the farm, share some of the results that we got over the past few years, and especially over this winter with cover cropping, early spring, because things are about to start growing at a phenomenal rate, and I wouldn't want you to miss it. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching the Pharmacy Seeds Network. Remember, keep your friends close, your farmers closer.